So I am not expecting anything until this low's gone. So whether we get a pull up on the 7 AM candle, that's London time, and then we get something like this, pull up and pull back down to take out these equal lows here. That is what I'm looking at on FX currency futures. Let's quickly mark up NQ, see what's going on. Index futures tried, if those that don't know, this is what I trade ES, NQ, YM, closely correlated pairs. So we're bullish on the monthly profile. At all-time highs. All assets have closed above previous month's high. Let's drop down to the weekly. It's profile of the week. Bullish weekly profile, previous week. But what have we got? All assets are wicking above, closed below, so we should mark out the 50%. Just double check the daily. See, yeah, we've closed below, right? So all assets have wicked above, that means closed below. First target would be 50%, so let's draw that out. One of these assets is going to have to rebalance equilibrium. I'm not going to call it consonant encroachment because that is just a fucking made up name. It's EQ of the range, equilibrium 50%. If you subscribe to ICT's cult following, then so be it. It's week 4. So continuation or reversal. Bullish weekly profile. Okay, so if we wicked above, this becomes our draw. Previous day, we've got a bearish daily profile. So we're going into the day with a bearish daily profile. That means we want to sell above the open. we look here, nothing's broken here either, so let's have a look at the 6 hour, see if there's a CRT. Even though we've got a daily profile, let's just have a little look, see what the 6 hours doing. Not a lot either. Check the daily. No, there's no higher time frame CRT, so I'm looking for a free candle model. There's possibly a weekly one, but we need this bar to close and then get SMT there, then we can start target them lows. But we wicked above, 50% becomes our draw. Let's profile Asia. I think there's news today as well, isn't there? Thursday is built for reversals. So we might see something like that on the currency futures triad. But every day I am marking up Asia. Give me a good idea of what's going on. Asia range is important. So we do have a 6 hour SMT. NQ has taken Asia low. I don't start trading NQ until 8 AM. I don't mind if I miss anything at 7. The real move comes at 8. It's the same with FX as well, but you do get sometimes a Judas as well, especially if something's going to take some liquidity pull on FX. That is it. NQ only 8 AM for me. Measure up the range. See what profile we got on the range. So I measure these just to see what session profile we have. So we've taken the high and the low here as well. So that means I just wait now. It's a waiting game for me. So Asia has ranged. It's all about process. You come into the market and do the same thing every day. I'm obviously live in my Discord as well, so if anyone needs anything from me. So we do have a 6 hour SMT here. NQ has taken a low, but I think YM's taken this, so we're just going to sit out of this until we get a little bit more price develop. So I'm not looking at anything there. Back to currency futures. Okay, so we've taken previous day's low on the 7 AM Judas, which is great, but I still don't like these equal lows here being left. We've got a set of equal lows here as well. This wasn't a sequential SMT, neither was this. But this is Monday's low, and we've got form Tuesday. Let's check CFD data, see if we still got that. Yeah, so if you see here, we've still got the low intact there. So this is going to be our draw. And if you know how I trade EU and NQ realistically all the time, and I just use the other pairs as correlation. So I'm trying to get a position on EU and I'm trying to get a position on NQ. I always put a bit of gamma waves on, keep my mind focused, helps me focus. So that is what that sound is in the background. Okay, so we do have a weekly cycle forming at the moment. I am skeptical though, because we've got this built up liquidity here. So let's see how price develops. If we start getting a bullish candle, and I could take a last kiss model into the low to take out the low. Oh, we've swept both sides of Asia as well. That's lower probability for me. Normally I probably would stay away, but if we didn't have such clean lows and we're going into 8 AM and play the last kiss model. Plus I also think we've still got this daily free candle model here to play out. So our key level here, draw, key level, draw here. So we have got the weekly cycle. This will normally set precedent for me. So until this level's gone, the weekly cycles doesn't really mean anything. I'm definitely going to look for shorts into these lows. It all has to stack confluence in order for you to take a trade, right? So if we look now, getting this bullish candle, I have to wait for this candle to form, to be honest. Say you got something like this. I don't know how this is going to end up, but you can see how closely correlated pairs. So like we're getting buyers off of this level. You know, this is pushing this up. This is how powerful sequential SMT is. You know, and if you make sure you use, so currency futures is 6B, 6E, 6S. If you haven't been following me, you can get my link in the description for my Discord if you want to learn from me direct. We have got a bearish daily profile, so on the currency futures, so that means we definitely don't need lots of confluence to take a short. Wicking below this range though, what does that tell me? Wick below, close above. Okay, so if the wick forms in London like this and we do go up, we could probably mitigate 50% of the previous day's range. Right, like I said about the weekly on index futures. So let's mark this out as a potential draw if we do start to go up. At the moment it looks like it's looking that way. We have pushed a hell of a lot lower. Maybe we come back and sweep these lows. You know, nothing's a certainty in trading. You have to mark out every possibility. I'm live on YouTube and Discord, so some of my students will be in the Discord group, so if they ever pipe up, you know where that's coming from. If you can't get to me on my Discord, you can get to me in my chat. Looks like all assets are going to probably run Asia low. It's going to be a draw of liquidity as well, but below previous day's low. We're bearish on the profile here as well, which I don't like to see. I don't like to see when index futures and currency futures are moving together. That is not what I want to see, especially immediately as well. But we are getting a slight push up on FX. If you don't know what my model is, it's on YouTube. There's loads of videos, and TikTok. You can go and share and like, and you can get to know my model. If not, if you want to learn directly, join the Discord, and we can talk about going through some models together. We're seeing some sellers come in off the top of this level on FX here. Price is pushing down a little bit further. We need some price to form here, to be honest. Quite interested in previous day's low. Mark that as a key level. See what we get when we put down there. I'm hoping the back end of this week's going to be a bit better than what we experienced last few days. I wasn't trading Tuesday. Normally I trade Tuesdays, but I had other plans. Not a lot was going on yesterday. Not really an entry for us. Move already happened before I start trading, which is 1 o'clock. So on that candle, the move has already happened. We did get the sweep above, but there was no micro to take the short. So we had a 6-hour SMT, and that got cancelled out over here, and then price moved down. Unfortunate. I thought there was definitely liquidity, and after we got this candle, we know this low's already gone. There's no pop up above the old high, so the last kiss model wasn't there. I would have traded that into the low. If something popped up above this high here, we could have traded it down into that. That would have been a nice last kiss model. I'm on for 2 hours here. I'll be on till 9 AM. Let's see how we get on today. Let's just take a look at the 4 hour, see what's going on. It's not something I use all the time frame I use all the time, but I do just take into account what's going on. 6 hours my main baby. 6 hour, daily, weekly, hourly. Then my entry time frames 1, 15, 5. Well, we have definitely taken the liquidity from here, and we're definitely pushing the market up. We've got equal highs at the top and the low, so interesting. make sure I've got an alert for previous day's low on YM. Okay, yeah, so like I said, we've got a draw here, the key level, the 3 candle daily model. This is what I'll be targeting. The weekly cycle is still there. You can see now prices, there was liquidity there, but it wasn't enough to continue this move up. So now we're getting this price pull back. Let's have a little look on the lower time frame, see what happens. Yeah, we're getting this initial liquidity grab, and then sellers are overturning that, and we're throwing it right back down. Let's have a little look on that, back to the 1 hour. This is our draw here. Do we get a pop up above this old 7 a.m. range to go lower? We'll have to see at 8 o'clock, definitely. See what goes on here. Looks like we are going to pull here. Let's just have a look on the daily. There's no real level of liquidity. We're still bullish, but I do think that we're gonna, one of these assets is gonna pull into equilibrium of the weekly for sure. But price could reverse, right? We could take this low and then start to pull back. If we do take the low, we could target 50%, and if we've already mitigated 50%, that means we go to the other end of the range on 2 of the assets. So if YM takes this low here, I'm going to look for these highs to be taken out over here, because we've mitigated 50% here anyway. So yeah, just be mindful. Remember, this is time and price aligning. This is pulling into a zone as well. Yeah, but we are in a SMR level, but this is the SMR. The daily low, sorry, has more weight. So I would definitely like to see that swept. I'm not going to take a long, especially 16 ticks above. No way. I'll wait for the sweep of that level at 8 a.m. FX, this is just going to keep pushing down. This is our draw. How many? Oh. $30 ticks to go. Okay, I'm going to leave the stream running. I'm going to run back in about 10 minutes. So we're about to go 8 a.m. New range is formed. And if you're not familiar with my timed edges indicator that I built, these levels are gold. They form every day. They give you if one asset pulls into that, you can trade out of it. But as you can see, all three, they might get a reversal from here. A little bit of price, but you can see you've already got a reaction, right? So it's the smart money reversal points already programmed in to the timed edge indicator. So you go up here, you can see how it works. You get stuck, it's on what to purchase, available. New 8 a.m. candle. Let's see how this opens. Well, if this carries on pushing down, open low, high close, expect a bullish bar, right? I trade CRT and quarterly theory concepts. It's my own model, my own way of looking at the charts now though. So not a lot is happening here at the open. 2 minutes past. I still want this level to go. I'm not interested in the standard deviation. I know it's going to provide a reaction, but we need that old liquidity pool. I do class these as old liquidity pools, but when they were so close towards that previous day low, I want to see that swept, right? So if we get that sweep, then we need a new liquidity pool to form. So that would mean waiting for the 9 a.m. range. So if we get something like this, and then we get push down in, and then we get this a cracking correlation between these three, and then to take this long. And then once that is, because we've taken both sides of Asia, right, we've swept a new liquidity pool. Our draw of liquidity become the 50% of the previous day's candle. Okay, so we do that, find it equilibrium, EQ's here, so right where I had it, to be honest. So that will become our draw for sure. On one of the assets as well, only one asset has to rebalance EQ. That will give us enough to move the market. We've got a range range session profile here, bearish daily profile. We've got this key level here, this 3 candle model. Surprised it didn't get taken out yesterday. We haven't cracked on the CFDs. So this is ultimately our draw, but we do have equals up here, but this is wider, so there's going to be more liquidity here than this. the wider the SMT or the wider the equals, there's more liquidity, right? Okay, so prices developed more liquidity between them. Okay, so that's going to be stronger. So this is actually going to come more of our draw than up here. But that being said, we trade what we see, right? We got 6S pushing down now. Is this an open, low, high, close scenario on the candle? First 5 minutes of push down. Have we? Oh, get rid of that. Yeah, let's see what we've done here. Have we nearly mitigated EQ. Interesting. This might just be a very slow morning. But I'm confident something will happen today. Being Thursday, let's have a little look at the news. I forgot to do that this morning. So Thursday we got Swiss, we got 8:30 news. That's important news. So 24 minutes we've got S&P policy rates. And then 9 AM as well, we've also got Swiss news. This might be stalling the market. We also have USD news 1:30 PM. This is all in London time. Like I say a million times, I don't subscribe to the whole market's fucking backed off of the New York time because it's complete bullshit. As soon as the daylight saving kicks in, London Open still opens at 8. I say it so many times on TikTok, YouTube, in my shorts. Soon as it goes into daylight saving, the algorithm goes out the fucking window and ICT's talking out of his ass. Because daylight saving, 8 AM opens in London, you're an hour. It's an hour difference again, so 8 AM still in. Right, YM's taking the low. Let's have a little look at that. Let's see what's happening. 8:08. I still need this candle to close though. This is, I can't trade this unless there was an SMR level as well. Then I'd start going down to the XX15 model. At the moment, I am waiting for this candle to close with sequential SMT, and then I'll look to trade that. Like I said, draw would be 50% on one of the range, and to be honest, I think, have we mitigated 50%? Yeah, so we have gone up and mitigated 50%. So yeah, the other end of external end of the range will probably be our draw. But let's see what we get here. It's 8 AM. We've purged this liquidity pool. So old liquidity pool taken. This being our old liquidity pool. Now we need a new liquidity pool with S&T divergence. And we can look for a long. Probably going to be the better trade today or this morning, that's for sure. Just because 9 AM reversal as well, in time. Okay, so it looks like we just pushed down. We always need, once Asia swept both sides, I want to see a new liquidity pool, and that may be a new old liquidity pool, by the way. That means it's maybe a SMR level, weekly, daily, session high, monthly, something like that. 3 candle model, either on the 6 hour, daily. They're my old liquidity pools. So I'm just monitoring now, and probably won't get something till 9 on YM, that's for sure. Back over currencies, this looks like it's just, yeah, I'm dubious about this going long. I know we've got news now in 20 minutes as well, which we're probably not going to get a setup that I want to trade before news, because I don't think 6S is going to get here and provide with the micro. So it is just a waiting game on currency futures triad. I'm looking to just see what the news does. And then bearing in mind we're bearish on the profile still, and yeah, this liquidity here is just, it's a bit suspect. Range session profile on Asia though should make the wick in London. The wick of the day should form in London, especially if we've had a range. If we haven't, then you often get expansion. That'll be an expansion, then accumulation, then the wick will form in New York. That's very important. It's also why I've decided to start doing lives. I said I would, and build up people trading with me, because you're going to get more from me trading live than you are teaching from videos. Like I said, these levels of liquidity are going to be more. There's more liquidity there than there is in a SMR level. They're just standard deviations. So, right. So I'll put more weight on that. There's also going to be a draw of liquidity below this Monday's low. Let's have a look at the. Yeah, there's definitely going to be a level of draw of liquidity below here. Three candle daily model. Candles highs and lows are old highs and lows are draws of liquidity. Remember what I said about index futures, wick above, close below. 50% of the weekly range becomes, especially if the daily started closing back below the open. Okay, so price opened here, wick down, gone up. Now we're closing back below that, so we can anticipate that all of these assets are gonna, at least one of the assets, sorry, is gonna balance EQ. So if I'm gonna take a long, I'm just fading this. I'm not looking to shoot for the moon, not looking to hold it. None of my trades go that way anyway. So I'm looking, this will just be a short fade into a level, considering that Asia high's already been taken. You might hit 50%, or this might just keep rolling now. Let's set an alert for ES on previous day's low and NQ. There's gonna be liquidity below this if we sweep that. saying that. .13 and we got a news release on Swiss. Still got 43 minutes sorry, of this bar handle range. Let's see what price gives us. Hopefully we get something. I'm expecting something. This back end of the week's been a bit of a shit week for me. Classic Monday expansion, Tuesday accumulation, and then we got the manipulation. Didn't actually get sequential SMT though. I thought we were going to run this high yesterday. That would have been a lovely trade. You saw Romeo, he actually took that trade up here, but with Asia expands, I was expecting something for equilibrium of Asia. Just nothing. And then when 6B took Monday's low, was trying to get along in here, but it just kept getting validated, and price was just pushing. I did have a break even on Monday, because I know once Monday starts expanding in Asia, expanding in London on a Monday, trying to fade the move, I just covered a short. I covered the short a little bit too early, I think. Could have got maybe 4 or 5 R out of it, but I took a break even anyway. So not been the best week for me. My model doesn't set up all the time. It's not an everyday occurrence. I'm happy though, because when it does set up, it's high risk to reward. So So I don't mind waiting. 1 or 2 setups a week is all you need to be profitable and make money. Discipline over quantity, for sure. That's how you win at this game. Granted, my model's not for everyone. It's a lot of sitting and waiting. But I think as you get better at this game and years under your belt, you do just wait now until you get a good setup, because it's not worth it. All the other stuff just fucks with your psychology, fucks with your model. So you may as well just wait for the setups, clean setups, and take them. And then as soon as you come with that attitude, you know, your patient pays, and you're starting to look at the market in a different way. Do I really want to take that? Do I just wait? You know your model's going to show up. I don't care if it shows up once a month, twice a month. I don't give a fuck. I've had 3 trades this month. Not the best, but I'm still up over 10R, so that's okay with me. Anyway, these lives are going to be a bit more regular now, for sure. So I'm just going to try and do them Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, London and New York session. Obviously life gets in the way, but I'm going to try and stay a bit regular now so people can carry on watching and jump on at the same time. Eight minutes and news is going to hit on the Swiss. Whether that moves the other two backed against the dollar is another thing, but this is closely correlated than any other asset really, because it's the euro. Swiss is in the euro. Buyers are coming in below the low. Let's see how this forms. Old liquidity pool, create a new liquidity pool, take a trade. Target 50% of the range. looks like we're gonna just wait until that news is released now. 5 minutes to. I'm not looking to take any trades, so it is a waiting game for me. Maybe New York is going to show us a little bit of something. So if you see this and there's still space in the Discord, you can join for free, it's no problem. I'm trying to build a group of 20 traders, all trading the same model. It's going to be good for both of us, all of us even. QRT, QT, sorry, CRT, fucked up. Is essential. I'm not I'm not going to here to babysit you. I'm not going to teach you the basics. If you don't have any prior experience, then this is not the group for you. Well, news has just hit. We've taken out that low. Now we're going for Monday's low, I think. I'm still dubious about these equal lows here. I'm looking at these and thinking this is just prime for the taking, but still waiting for price to develop, to be honest. Price is just stalling at this level for EU. I don't know what's going on here. We're taking this level, now we're going back up. It was a micro, but it was on the news. Not something I want to get into. Gamble on the open of the news. Let's see what the index is saying. Okay, so we're getting a push up, rejection candle. So if we close like this, I'll start breaking down the next hourly range in 15 minutes. XX15, XX30, XX45, depending on what the first quarter of the 1 hour range does. So we'll be looking at that. for sure. We've got SMT, because I don't think if price does close up here, are we going to get to this low? Probably not. So you have to use another sell side liquidity to take buy side. So that'll be waiting for Q1 to form, which is the first 15-minute candle. Waiting game. I might run this stream a little bit longer just so we get the 9 AM range in. I was hoping we were going to get something at 8 over here. My draw's still down here though. I'm not looking to take a trade until that level has been taken out. Weekly cycle or no weekly cycle, that level was more important than that anyway. And any divergence, you often find that the higher time frame CRT draw is a lot higher confluence. I know we've taken the level out here, but we haven't on these two. So for me, this level is going to be more prevalent than this one over here being taken out. 6B just moving ahead. Close back through that FUG. Yeah, anyway, I don't really look at that stuff, to be honest. Candles are ranges. That's where you get all your draws of liquidity from. Getting strong rejection now coming up. Let's just mark 50% of the previous day's range. Because that is a wick below, close above, 50% becomes a draw, or the other end of the range, and I've said that already, but that's just exactly for anyone else listening. This is it. This is why I'm marking equilibrium of the range, EQ. What we're getting on at currency futures is just in a bit of a pickle. It's not moving. Obviously needs some more liquidity, doesn't it, to fuel the move. Got a lot of sell side happen yesterday. Maybe we get 6B up to rebalance price, rebalance at EQ, then we might sell off and take them equals on 6E at that stage. I can daily EQ level I also use as a old liquidity pool, cracking correlation for me. Higher time frame, one asset taps in, I know what I want to see. Time and price at that level is good enough for me to take a trade. We're bearish on the profile as well. If anyone does view this and they are good with YouTube and want to reach out and get in touch for a potential opportunity, then please get in touch, contact me via the socials, and I'll get back to you. Trying to drive my YouTube channel now, push these lives a bit. Holds me accountable, not just for social media. It's more for me and my accountability while I'm trading, teaching and trading at the same time. That's why I give the content away for free. I am working on getting a new webcam as well, so I can set all that up, so it's going to be a proper stream once people start coming in and interacting. If you want more interaction, you can go through my Discord and join up there, and you can join live through there and talk. Daily free candle model is a stronger draw of liquidity over the weekly cycle, so I'm still looking to take out these equal lows. For anyone that's new, that's joined, that is what I'm waiting for on the currency futures triad. If 6E does go down and take that Wednesday's low and Monday's low at the same time, and we have a weekly cycle, that's a high probability trade. 6B might stay above, might not. C does look to be the slowest of the three today, sorry. all your support and resistance traders are going long from here. That's why it's probably pushing EU a bit. That's why it's staying up. People, retail are seeing that double bottom. Let's take that long. And we want to trade into it. Or trade after the sweep. Okay, so we've got sellers coming in at the end of this range. If we get an indecision candle on all three assets, I'm not looking to take the 15-minute. I'd rather see the low go. I want to see clear rejection when breaking the hour range down into the 15 minutes. Indecision, I'll wait. So depending on how this bar closes as to whether the stream goes on a little bit longer. Let's see. We're getting some selling pressure coming in now, pushing that back down. So if they all end up around EQ of the hour range, then I want to see the low go, so I'll be waiting for that. And I'll close the stream and I'll wait. Mark the lows, I'll show you where. Okay, so FX is pulling down. See, now this is interesting. Now we're going to get this. Well, I was definitely right with what was going on. Definitely going to take out this low. News released at 9 as well on Swiss now. So we've got a news release coming in. Haven't actually taken any of the lows though, so can't really do anything until we get a close below. What's happening here? I will see how the first quarter of this candle goes. We have got a rejection. We have got a weekly cycle. It hasn't closed in. It is kind of a. It's still in the top of the range, so it's not an indecision. So I'm going to watch closely now how this 15-minute forms, because I still think 6 here I still think these are going to go down a bit, especially with this level here. So I'm not looking to long this just yet. Still levels to be taken out. Probably get there in the next hour. So my focus now is whether the first 15-minute forms a range expansion, and then now I can guide how the next candle or the next 1 hour candle is going to form. So that's what I'm looking at now. Also, what is important for me though is that if we do take the high, so we've just taken the high, we need the 15-minute sell side for sure. If we keep on expanding, we're not going to get into discount, and this invalidates the trade for me. Because the EQ of the range, wick above, close below, so it's only 2 minutes into the candle, right? So if we're going to take a long, we need to get one of the assets need to rebalance price. So when we do this, I'll mark out the 50% of the 1 hour range, like so. And like on the higher time frames, price is fractal, right? So I want to see that EQ mitigated. because open, high, low, close, right? So if we're expecting a bullish candle, we should open low, high, close, right? So at the moment we're just expanding up, and so wick above, close below, right? So that means then we want to see a range form at equilibrium at one of the assets to take a long, but this might not necessarily, this might be invalidating the whole setup anyway. So let's see if we get an expansion, manipulation will form at 9:30. Are we going to get back to EQ? I don't think so. So more than likely this is just going to invalidate the whole setup. But we play price. That's a shame because I wanted I wanted that last kiss model. I knew that there was going to be liquidity here. Just formed in news, not what we want to see. So we're waiting for 9:15, XX15. Important macro around the 1 hour. So we've got the 1 hour on the hour, then XX45 and XX15. They're important macros because you break them down into 15-minute candles. Okay, same reason why I break the daily candle into 4 6-hour candles. There's been a lot of that this month. These setups occur and then they haven't been given entries as such. There's been a lot this month. I've seen a lot of setups waiting for something to form here, and then we don't get anything. It just expands and goes through the fucking roof. But you know, if you've been trading for a while, you just stick to your model. I know it works, it comes, it works out. So we're still resting above that liquidity pool, 909. Still resting above that liquidity pool. Maybe we get something into that, into New York, to take that out. Keep an eye on the XX15 model. Excuse me. What's this 15-minute doing? Looks like it's going to close expansion, to be honest. And what I mean by that is I'm expecting this bar just to keep going. But that means if we get that, you'd want to see manipulation in the next accumulation, then manipulation in the next candle. But is any of the assets going to get to equilibrium of the range? You can see that. Yeah, it's right below there, isn't it? 3 minutes and 40 seconds, and then now I'm pretty sure there will be something today. Just not going to looking like it's going to form in London, and got this giant push here into SMR level as well. But you know better than that to try and take a long off of that with these levels of liquidity pools below. So this might give us an opportunity to short into it, maybe. We'll have to see at 10 AM UK time, GMT. Not something I'm willing to do. Not above these equals high here. Let's just check the CFD data, see if we got a crack here maybe. Now that low's still intact, so relative equal lows are here still. Yeah, looks like we're going to close expansion. It's just going to go up. So with that in mind, we've got a level of liquidity at Asia. Is a draw. Wick below, close above 50% of daily previous day's range. So we can trade with that in mind for sure. Let's have a look at what the 6 hours saying. Still got a couple of hours left of that anyway, so yeah, New York seems to be the one. 2 more minutes left of the stream, then I'm going to end it, guys. Nothing really for us in. You can see that price has just been a little bit fucking shit this week. Look at the price action yesterday. There's no old liquidity pools in that situation. Just tank. Tuesday I wasn't trading. Away, picking up a friend. Yeah, so we're getting expansion now. So we expect accumulation, then manipulation. So the candle to trade here would be 9.45 for sure. But the higher time frame suggests we're going to go higher. Whether I don't think we're going to come back to equilibrium now. No, I don't think we're not. So yeah, we've got 20 seconds. We've had an expansion. So yeah, I will be back on in New York. Okay, timed edge, thank you very much.